The sun was setting over the kingdom of Okrika, casting a golden hue on the lush landscape. Inside the grand palace, King Eboka sat on his majestic throne, his face etched with deep lines of age and wisdom. Despite his regal appearance, the king's heart was troubled. As he watched the kingdom flourish under his rule, one pressing question kept haunting him: who would lead the kingdom after he was gone? His son, Prince Borogboro, was more than ready to take the throne. He had proven himself in battles, displayed wisdom in council meetings, and earned the respect of both the nobles and the common folk. But the king knew that ruling a kingdom was not a task for one person alone. A wise ruler needed a partner, a queen who could stand beside him through thick and thin, guiding him in times of doubt and supporting him in times of need. King Eboka had seen many queens come and go, and he knew that beauty alone could not make a queen. The true strength of a queen lay in her character, in her wisdom, compassion, and resilience. With this in mind, the king summoned Prince Borogboro to discuss the future. The prince entered the throne room, bowing respectfully before his father. "My son," the king began, "you have grown into a fine man, and I have no doubt that you will make a great king. But every king needs a queen, a woman who will be your partner in ruling this kingdom." Prince Borogboro nodded in agreement. He had thought about marriage before, but he was not one to rush into such matters. He valued qualities like loyalty, wisdom, and inner strength more than outward beauty. "Father, I understand the importance of choosing the right queen," the prince said thoughtfully. "But how can I be sure I will find the right woman? How do I look beyond what is visible and see the heart?" King Eboka smiled gently at his son's question. "You are wise to ask that, my son. We must test the maidens, not just in beauty but in character, judgment, and compassion. Let us devise a challenge that will reveal the true nature of those who seek to be queen." The king's words planted the seed of an idea in the prince's mind, one that would set in motion a series of events that would shape the future of Okrika forever. After leaving his father's presence, Prince Borogboro retreated to the palace gardens to reflect on the king's words. The garden was a place of serenity, filled with the fragrance of blooming flowers and the gentle sound of trickling water from the fountains. But the prince's mind was far from at ease. The task before him was daunting. Choosing a queen was not merely about finding a wife, it was about selecting someone who could help him carry the weight of the kingdom on her shoulders. He had seen kingdoms crumble because of poor leadership, and he did not want Okrika to fall into such a fate. The prince's thoughts wandered as he considered the type of queen he desired. He knew many maidens in the kingdom, each possessing their own unique beauty and charm. But he also knew that beauty could be deceiving. What lay behind a pretty face? Was there kindness, loyalty, wisdom? Or was there jealousy, greed, and pride? The prince knew that he needed to look beyond appearances to find a woman who was truly fit to be queen. A queen must be strong, yet gentle. She must be wise but also humble. Above all, she must have a heart that cares for the people, the prince mused. But how could he find such a woman among all the maidens in the kingdom? The thought weighed heavily on his mind. Then, an idea began to form. What if we test them, he thought. A series of challenges, simple yet revealing. Through this test, we can see who possesses not just outer beauty but the qualities that make a true queen. The more he thought about it, the more the plan made sense. The test could range from displaying grace and elegance to proving wisdom and compassion. It would not be enough for a maiden to simply look the part, she would need to demonstrate that she had the inner strength to lead. With his decision made, the prince returned to his father's chambers and shared his idea. King Eboka listened carefully, his face lighting up with approval as the prince explained the details. "This is a wise plan, my son," the king said. "Let the announcement be made across the land. The search for the next queen of Okrika begins." The following morning, the kingdom of Okrika buzzed with excitement. Messengers on horseback were sent to every village, town, and hamlet, carrying the royal decree that would be read aloud in public squares. As the villagers gathered, the town criers began to shout the proclamation, "Hear ye, hear ye." By the decree of King Eboka and Prince Borogboro, a competition is to be held to select the future Queen of Okrika. All eligible maidens are invited to participate in the test that will determine the next queen. The news spread like wildfire, and soon every maiden in the kingdom was talking about the upcoming competition. For some, it was a dream come true, a chance to become royalty, to live in the palace, and to rule alongside the prince. Others saw it as a test of their worth, a way to prove themselves in front of the entire kingdom. In every village, preparations began in earnest. Mothers and daughters gathered to discuss what they would wear, how they would prepare, and what they could do to stand out. In a small riverside village, two close friends, Abia and Tunai, heard the announcement and were immediately intrigued. Both young women were of marriageable age, and both were admired for their beauty and grace. But beyond that, they shared a deep friendship that had lasted since childhood. Abia was known for her gentle spirit and kind heart. She was the type of person who would give her last coin to someone in need or stay up all night tending to a sick child. Tunai, on the other hand, was quick-witted and sharp. She had a mind for strategy and was always thinking 2 steps ahead. Their friendship was built on mutual respect and understanding, and they often joked that they were 2 halves of the same whole. When the announcement was made, Abia and Tunai looked at each other with excitement. "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" Tunai asked with a grin. Abia nodded. "We should enter the competition together. Who knows what might happen? Even if we don't win, it will be an adventure we'll never forget." The 2 friends made a pact to help each other through the challenges, no matter what. Little did they know that this competition would test not only their skills but also the strength of their friendship. As the day of the first test approached, Abia and Tunai spent their time preparing together. They practiced dancing, cooking, and answering questions that might come up in the competition. Their friendship grew even stronger as they encouraged each other and shared their dreams for the future. Abia often talked about how she wanted to use her position, if she won, to help the less fortunate in the kingdom. She dreamed of setting up shelters for orphans and providing education for girls who couldn't afford it. Tunai, ever the strategist, had more practical goals. She envisioned using the power of the queen to strengthen trade routes and improve the kingdom's economy. "A strong economy is the foundation of a strong kingdom," she would say. "With the right policies, we can lift everyone out of poverty." Despite their different perspectives, the 2 friends supported each other's visions and often spent hours discussing what they would do if one of them became queen. They also made a promise to each other, a promise that no matter what happened in the competition, their friendship would remain unbroken. "Even if you become queen and I don't, I will still be your friend," Tunai said one evening as they watched the sun set over the river. "And I will never forget where I came from," Abia replied. "You and I are sisters in spirit, no matter what the future holds." As the day of the first test drew nearer, the village was filled with anticipation. The elders held special prayers for the maidens, asking the gods to grant them favor. Abia's mother, a wise and respected woman, gave her daughter a final piece of advice. "Remember, my child, that true beauty lies in the heart. Be kind, be humble, and let your actions speak for you." Tawny's mother, however, had a different approach. She was ambitious and saw the competition as a way to elevate their family status. "This is our chance to rise above the rest," she told Tunai. "Don't let anyone stand in your way, not even Abia. This is about more than friendship, it's about securing our future." Tunai nodded but felt conflicted. She valued her friendship with Abia more than anything, but she also understood the weight of her mother's words. The competition was fierce, and only one person could win. As the day of the first test dawned, the two friends made their way to the palace, each with her own hopes, dreams, and unspoken fears.